Good evening, fellow Kenyans, and thank you very much for your greatest support. Just a humble request that please subscribe and also tell me where you're watching these videos from. If you're in the country, you tell me which part of the country you're watching from, and if you're outside the country, you can as well tell me which country, or drop me the flag at the comment section, and I will know it by myself. Okay. In as much as maybe we will say that there have been demonstrations. Yes, there have been demonstrations in Tanzania concerning what is going on. All of us, everybody in the world knows what is going on in Tanzania. And one thing I have to say, or one thing we have to say, is that of course Suluhu Hassan is going to be declared the president of Tanzania. No matter what happens, she's going to be declared the president of Tanzania. Not because maybe she has won, but simply because she had got no competitor. So in as much as Tanzanians have really done the level best, they're doing the level best. You know, they've destroyed everything. You know, they've really they've really shown out their grievances. They've really shown out their intentions, what they wanted, you know, and what they didn't want, or what they've not been in position maybe to want. There is one thing that is certain, that of course she's going to be declared the president. But the question is, if she's declared the president, or when she'll be declared the president, her leadership will literally give Tanzanians what they've been wanting, or what they want.
Yes, hero. Oh yeah! Yes! Oh yeah! Yes! Oh yeah! Yes! Sasa Mungu amevuga. Maandamano ya amani. Wacheni woga. Anataka Lissu. Lissu ni zombo. Hii ndio niache.
Yeah, so believe you in Tanzania. Sasa tunasema tuko live bila
Because this thing has really triggered different reactions. You know, it has really brought a lot of a different picture of Tanzania, and how people view Tanzania, and how Tanzania is based on the relationship between the president herself, Suluhu, together with Tanzanians. But that one said and done, I know also that we Kenyans, we really missed a demonstration. Like Wakenya they've really missed demonstrations to a point that Kenyans decided to go and help Tanzanians in the demonstration. Actually, police officers decided to block Kenyans at the Namanga borders, who are attempting to join Tanzanian protest.
Tanzania kwetu. Wakenya warudi Kenya. Wakenya mrudi Kenya.
And by bad luck, there are some 2 Kenyans who have been shot and rushed to the hospital around Kajiado Hospital after they were shot by the police officers during the commotion. You know, Kenyans were forcing themselves to go and demonstrate and help their brothers, our brothers in Tanzania demonstrate, because, you know, it's a neighbors thing, so we have to help our neighbors. But by bad luck, 2 of Kenyans have been shot. I don't know whether they are alive, but their condition was not in. They had got now. Their condition was so much bad because of the shooting and all that. I want us to discuss something here, because I've also seen that some of the Tanzanian celebrities, people like Diamond, they decided to sneak into Kenya quietly as protesters in Tanzania threatened to greet him for being a hard-headed supporter of Samia Suluhu. Of course, we know very well that Diamond has been a supporter of Samia Suluhu. I don't know what he has been gaining from Suluhu, but or I don't know what she's been gaining from Diamond. But Diamond has been the greatest supporter of Samia. In fact, he even composed a song singing to Samia about, you know, the song everything, but and all that. But I want us to talk about something here. I want to say this, that Samia Suluhu and the happenings in Tanzania has really given the world a picture of how dictatorship is, and has really I know it has installed fear in every person about about giving a woman, let me put it that way, about giving a woman a position like being the president of or electing a woman as a leader. You know, women, what I normally know is that women lead with emotion. And of course, even relationships, you might find that women are too more emotional, and like men are not emotional, but men sometimes are intelligent, and also men are, I don't know how to put it, but men are not emotional like women. Women are too much emotional. And that is why you find that anything that involves a woman, anywhere women are, you must find that there are a lot of cries. You know, people must cry, you know, in one way or the other. Lazima kuwe na kilio, vilio kila mahali. But why is it? I want us to look at this thing this way. That why is it that all these things that are happening in Tanzania are happening? Was there any other way out? The answer is no. There was no any other way out, because already this woman had taken people who are against him in prison. So there is no way anybody could stand against her. Ndio maana unakuja napata kwamba even the votes were even being casted mahali, alafu zinapelekwa kwenye vituo vya kupiga kura na lori, claiming that ni lori za mahindi. You see, was it really okay? And you know, to my surprise and to everyone's surprise, I've seen a lot of videos speculating that the military have decided to join the Tanzanian Gen Zs during the demonstration. I want us to understand something here. That these ones are not Tanzanian soldiers. These ones are not military. Actually, what is happening in Tanzania right now is that the Tanzanians themselves stormed the company that normally makes the military attires. Walienda wakastorm the company that makes the uniform for the military. Wakavaa. So right now it's very difficult to differentiate between the citizens and the military. Ndio maana nakuja nakupa there is a different reaction. And also I think yesterday when this thing started, the majority of the police officers were removing their clothes and running away. So wakati ambapo wamekimbia, what was happening was that the citizens themselves were taking these uniforms na wanazivaa. So that is why unakuja napata kwamba there are so many people with the uniforms. You know, in as much as maybe this military also wants change, I don't think that they can celebrate this way. It's normal. It's logical that in any country, in every country, military are not supposed to involve themselves in the protest. Of course, with the protesters, of course, they can, but not directly. You normally see this happening. They can come, like I remember the Gen Z's demonstration when the military was deployed on the streets. What happened was that the military did not join the protesters. Neither did they defend the government. But what they were doing, they were trying to bring peace, you know. And they even escorted the Gen Z's when you walikuwa natoka all the way from Thika. You saw what happened along Thika Road. Majority of them were being escorted by the military. So it means that the military cannot involve themselves directly. Even during the election, it normally happens. I have a lot of friends, they normally tell me that wakati wa kupiga kura, we are not allowed. Of course, what we're supposed to do, we are not supposed to involve ourselves in politics, either directly or indirectly. We are supposed to be the peacemakers. So in Tanzania, what is happening, or what happens, is that the Tanzanian youths have decided, they broke into a company that makes uniforms, the attires, the uniform, the military attires, and then after breaking in, they took them wakaziva. Dumana naona kwamba there are no military officers that can behave this way. Literally, tuseme tu kweli, you know, let us just speak the truth. There are no military officers that can behave this way. These ones are just citizens who broke in and took over and took away the uniform. That's why unaona all these things are happening. But that said and done, let me ask this question. I want to ask this question, and maybe you can answer me this in the comment section. Do you really think that Tanzania is going to return back to its normal state? Why I'm asking this? Because a lot of things have been destroyed in Tanzania. Anything that can be banned, chochote ambacho kinaweza kikachomwa kimechomwa. Why? Because people were against the CCM. And Samia Suluhu, if at all maybe she loved this country so much as she claimed, and maybe if she had good intentions, maybe that is why she was vying for another time. She was insisting that she must be elected. Kama alikuwa anapenda nchi ya Tanzania kabisa, I think the noble thing that she could have done was to just surrender and say that, okay, if me vying for the presidency, if me being elected as the president will cause all these problems that are happening in the country, that are going to happen in the country, then I quit. But you know, as I said initially, that kwa sababu ya ile tamaa ambayo viongozi wetu wako nayo, viongozi wa Afrika Mashariki wako na tamaa, magharibi wako na tamaa. Yani East African leaders have got wako na tamaa kubwa sana ambayo haizi kazuilika. That is why all these things are happening, and that is why Tanzania right now has been burned to ashes. And in fact, wameingia mpaka kwa gas station, wakaiba gas. So
hizi ni hela zetu kumanina, hizi kodi zetu hizi, beba zote mamae, choma na kituo hiki kumanina zawa, beba mali, choma mzigo, tuondoke manina. Kodi zetu hizi.
So in the next 4, 5, 6 months, I don't think if there'll be any refilling of the gases kule Tanzania. And one thing I know is that the Tanzanian gases zitaanza kuingia Kenya. The second story, fellow Kenyans, as we wrap up, or as I wind up, so that I can also tell, you can also tell me what you think at the comment section, is that I really don't know why it looks like Raila Odinga, the late Raila Odinga, being given a state's burial was a way of starting to negotiate for the relationship between the opposition and between the ODM party and the Kenya Kwanza, between the ODM and UD and the Kenya Kwanza at large. Because I want you to listen to the way Moses Masika Wetangula is speaking. Listen to this. So tell me, these guys are trying to say, I don't know whether they're trying to say that we gave Raila Odinga a state's funeral, a state's burial, so that ODM can join hands with the UDA, or ODM can join hands with the Kenya Kwanza, so that we can support William Ruto coming 2027. Let me ask this question. This government, were they forced, was William Ruto forced and the government, were they forced to give Raila Odinga a good send-off? A question. Is it Raila Odinga had got no money to maybe to cater for his funeral? That is why all these things that the government is telling us that they did happened. You can't tell me that Raila Odinga had got no money. Raila Odinga had got money. Yeah, he was capable. The family was capable of giving a very good send-off. Leave alone the family, even the friends themselves, they were capable of giving Raila Odinga a good send-off. So why is it that these guys are right now are measuring on, okay, we gave Raila Odinga a good send-off, so blah blah blah, so what needs to happen? You know, I heard him saying this issue that the state Raila Odinga state send-off made both ODM and the Kenya Kwanza government to come together. You know, it brought us together so that we can start speaking the same language. Which same language?
Naona tuna vijana wengi sana. IEBC imefungua kuandikisha wapiga kura. Tunawaomba vijana, kama mnapenda rais na mnasema William Ruto tuta, lazima uwe na silaha ya kumpatia hiyo tuta. Kila mmoja wetu achukue kipande, aenda ajiandikishe. Heshima umepatia ndugu yetu Raila Amolo Odinga kwa kumpatia state funeral. Imesaidia vikubwa kuunganisha wafuasi wake region hii na wafuasi wetu wa Kenya Kwanza. Sasa tunatembea kama kitu kimoja, Mungu Mungu.
Was it a way of bribing, or was it a way of clicking, or was it a way of demanding to have a good relation, to have a forceful relationship? Because this is like a forceful relationship. Was it a way of having a forceful relationship between the UDA and the ODM, or between the ODM and the Kenya Kwanza government? If you decided to join the Kenya Kwanza government, maybe to work under William Ruto, well and good. Not everybody wants to work under William Samoei Ruto. Not every ODM member wants to work under William Samoei Ruto. And that is why you hear them saying that they cannot allow themselves. In fact, let me just read for you what Senator is saying, what Senator Kajwang is saying. Senator Kajwang' is saying this, that Senator Kajwang' is saying so well here. Let me just read it for you. That ODM will not endorse Ruto re-election in the election. Raila Odinga never paid a bride price. This one is very interesting. ODM will not endorse Ruto's 2027 re-election. Raila Odinga never paid a bride price in his political marriage with the Kenya Kwanza administration. That is loud and clear. So it means that ODM has got their own pathway, or maybe they have got their own plan. They also have a plan they want to take. They also have another way that they want to take. They have a route they want to. They have a path that they want to follow. So you can't force them to follow your own path simply because you gave Raila Odinga a send-off. You know, it's so much shameful, it's so much embarrassing to see the government, to see the president saying that the only person who could give, who was supposed to give, who would give me a pressure in 2017 election was Raila Odinga, and is no more. It's so much embarrassing to see someone claiming to be the Speaker of the National Assembly involving himself into the Kenyan, into the politics, instead of being at the instead of chairing the meetings, or maybe instead of being the Speaker of the National Assembly. You know, it's so much embarrassing. Yes, he has taken the developments in your region, but why speak on behalf of others? That is the question. Why speak on behalf of others? People don't care what you want to do with the government, what you're doing in the government. Don't force people to get into the government simply because you did them 1, 2, or 3 things. Not everybody wants to be in this government. That is one thing we have to accept. Not everybody wants to be in this government. And that is why even the ODM is saying that they are preparing themselves for 2027 general election. And mark you, let me just break this for you, because I know that we are going to talk about it in the next video probably, but let me just break it a little for you. That you see the way ODM is saying that they are going to vie for the presidency in 2027. They are preparing themselves. Oburu Odinga right now is the party lead of ODM. Oburu Odinga might vie for the presidency in 2027. After all, guys, that is just my thought, and that is all for now. Let me know what you think at the comment section, but don't forget to drop me a comment. Tell me what you think and where exactly you're watching this video from. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Bonfesa. But please don't forget to subscribe.